welcome. I welcome everybody in the name of our triumphant God into this auditorium this morning. It is another time we have been hearing the news, and so many things will happen in this region. Last 2 weeks we've been hearing about Jesus encountering a Samaritan, and it is said that he shouldn't talk to that woman at all because she's on the plane. It is a way of finding fault on Jesus. And today also, they've read to us that he opened the eye of a blind man. And the accusation also is that he healed him on the Sabbath. Na kuremu efesiawo na kwasra sio bayima mi sebe Yesu ayi da fudoto ayi wa ko kura no wa na yo ko ba no ma mala ko ko efe fudagara kaima ba ma jebe wa ko kura no ma kura egbeto anya ba egun kuna kuma bato le kwasra le Sabbath ji yeta aga tavo na yura to pe serula me je wa wo dole Sabbath jio ta apa wotagare ka hayama. The Roman Emperor at that time was ruling Israel, and then they were finding fault with Jesus. They wanted to prosecute him, find fault with him, so they were investigating him. They set out an investigation team, like today we will say FBI. So the interaction between Jesus and the blind man and the parents was not just interaction, it was an investigation. So if you look at it from that level, you will see that it was not just a mere thing. They were investigating him so that they can prove their case beyond all reasonable doubts that he is an offender. But they forgot that they are dealing with the man of God. They are dealing with Jesus, who is in the spirit and the body. These investigators tried to find fault from the well, his meeting with the lady. They got one point. So they've heard again that he has healed a blind man who has been born blind. So Jesus was a problem for the Romans in Judea. So they were finding every ways and means to get rid of him. So they need a proof, so that when they take him to the court, he cannot defend himself. That was what was going on. Jesus saw it, he knew it, so he was giving them positive answers. If you can see, the parents of the blind man and the blind man himself, they were giving answers. They didn't fumble at all. We shall come to that. So Jesus was passing one day, he met this blind man, and the disciples drew his attention and said, Jesus, Rabbi, this man is born blind. They knew he could heal him. So Jesus did his best, knew what he could do, and then used some mud and rub on his eyes, told him to go and wash himself. Brothers and sisters, this is another charge. So when this guy went and cleaned himself and came back, the investigators heard him. They heard that this man has been healed. So they didn't believe it. They were struggling among themselves. How can a sinner heal somebody who is blind? We've never heard this in the land before. This is the first time we heard that somebody blind has been healed. So they were struggling among themselves. People who have been sent to investigate, now they started fighting among themselves. Brothers and sisters, when Jesus heard this, he laughed. He knew what was going to happen. So they went to the boy, the blind man, and asked him, what happened to your eyes? What happened before your eyes were opened? And let's ask ourselves, the man was blind. How could he have seen what was going on? But these investigators did not think about that. So they asked the man. He said, for me, all I know is that I was blind. I was born blind. And then Jesus healed me. So they have failed one investigation. They went on to the parents of this boy and they asked the parents, we heard this boy was born blind. And the parents said, yeah, we gave birth to him. He was born blind. He was blind from his birth. And the investigators went on and said, then how come that he can see now? And they said, well, he is old enough to speak for himself. They didn't want to commit themselves. They were afraid of these people, the investigators. So if you don't know how to answer your question, you'll be in trouble. So they were very smart. They said, look, he is old enough, he can answer for himself. So here he is. Ask him. They went back to the boy again and asked him, how did it all happen? And the guy asked them, you came, I told you, and you have come back again to ask me. I know he is Jesus. He is the Christ. And I'm healed. That's all I know. The investigators have been defeated once again. What exactly they wanted to hear was that Jesus healed me with mud and then told me to go and clean myself and come back because it's Sabbath, it's on Sabbath. So that he has failed to respect the law of the land so they can get hold of him. This is all the investigators were looking for. But these people that they were questioning, they were investigating, were not giving them the proof. So they were not satisfied. And again, Jesus Christ, the person that they are investigating, they don't know who he is. The Spirit of God was on him. Wherever they go to investigate, they don't find any credible answer or any credible thing that he has done so that they can charge him. Brothers and sisters, today's theme says, now I can see. When we go back to Togo, it says in our dialect, Afatola si aminao, zole kekeliami. You have received anointing of the Lord. Walk in the light. It is, let's bring it back to our lives also. What happened in this investigation that Jesus went through. if you are in the spirit, you will not fear anything. If the Spirit of God is upon you, no matter what investigation you go through, you will come out triumphantly. Right. It is the law of the Jews to prosecute anybody who flouts the law. And this is exactly what they were doing to get rid of Jesus. We can see that we are getting closer to Easter. So these are the steps that they were taking so that they can crucify him. And today, the same message is enlightening us, the process that Jesus went through. They didn't attack him, but they were trying to look for evidence from sources so that this evidence would enact him. They have witnesses already. If they can get witnesses to get Jesus, it was very simple. So that was what they were doing. That was their task, to go and investigate him and bring out facts. Maybe and a dollar Judah over Seti. O Jabba, why Jabba play? You know, so for play there. Vudolato, a Ebertola, Buguna, Babaton. Then of you. Yes, you toy out over in the Waharaco. I can't order. And Yadim, a few of Wanya, needs your Wakata, the way I was said only. After no prayer, the simple and to about the local that our investigation of 12 alone, among who didn't know us saying, and Yatu over there, Papa Tomo, and by a Bungune, a Opiabana, Nia Bana Odio, Cho and Norfolk Domaga, Napomo, Lekawafi, and Pom and Bear. You damn it, Brother. And young Punyan Bar. A man of Pomo. A man of Kai Yejo. Yes, you will go now. Yamana Matempo Yama at your cellar, Amaramuri. You all I did, the Jabba boy, what be a better? That the Labobra, the Viale, you did you, Bubaba, maybe. You wait, Joe Baby Dara and Yaba Joko, Mempo, Takafia, and Mupo, Kaijo. Jila out of a form, Labana, a set of ball, oil over, and now be a water, I'll make you like Jago. And you brona a set of belly. Etchi, a magic, with Pianto or Deunami. You are trying to fear Bobby, the level Robert, and Pupato, and Yam, a letter of feet and a new bomb zone. The Obrana, Pupato, and Yan, you got a fee about no pomla, you may not know. Deep way, Yabana, Yesu, Abu Punai. Hallelujah. Amen. La mia, the Lucaramia, but told to a bear. Vovo, and young Redan Bene Soja over Robo, Proud Clear, Palos Omadobo, or a question only one now Biamori. Now a witty lamp, Vovo and Do. Tata Batoari, Mount Bobo Edgy, and let the Mount Driver and my Toamagia. What day for Gani Afia? Hallelujah. Eyata nyai obia eno nyawu deno deka plus manyawe to amama tesuku po mepo po akale o nyawu dena a set of our investigators ori mo fon pronto ameyo o roble ku abato katani we very smart Obo baba mu peto na. Yesu no ko ko yo globana e yenye ke ka pe ke li. E do yo do ila bene fa wori. Ya wo mere. E do yo do ila bene fa wo e ya wo mere ta. Bo fora ke mela mu. Kena enye pro yidi. Afundo avale ya dekota agro. Yesu. Yesebe yepankuba edeta agbo yesi ado ya tabe o akepenye ya tabe ma fe ele mutila ma nya me betota asa to fe susu yesebe edeta da ni ba yo pot asipo de ta me pleke o de kujine bere ba kure Yesu wo dole sabakeji o apo serero akẹ́sì ònyẹ́ pọ̀pọ̀pọ̀pọ̀ fẹ́ ń sẹ́ lẹ́ ó jíta ó dẹ́ dòdó akátá nwé ọmọ pọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ kàlà fún máa hàn ojú lẹ̀ tẹ̀pẹ́ à ó lọ bọ̀bọ̀rọ̀ bẹ́ náà kẹ́ àmẹ́ yìí ní bọ̀bọ̀rọ̀ bẹ́ náà àmẹ́ anyẹ́ wúfọ́ wọ̀lá lẹ́kẹ̀ wá fi wàtá òmùnkú náà gbàgbàtọ̀ yẹ wọ́n dẹ̀dẹ́ ọ̀nà bẹ̀bẹ̀rẹ̀ na ó ló pè mẹ́. But I mean, you better be for investigation. You better for and you told me let the wafi be for the sebe una babato. Okay, what is there? Lord to me, I was very low to me. Toto mai bobo kweta da ko do to me na. Mo vi e no to le Cristo. Ata o na be to egbe. Aka mega ko musena aje alo bobo voile ko Yehowa ndo ato ana wa to na daoma ina elemo mama tomle jidapo na rasio bana mau yena no vaeji e mau ntori aka de chuma. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Kakana hosema mala asiwo na ala wuti na makola fefese se adujiu ana mo agbemla wo mawo. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Akana ya baby na bi la kula mawo imeta kula mawji yemi la mawo ko mesemle mama ko nsiamu ana ajo ma ko patata ana tro ma ko use ha globana ya afo to mo yo le je wo no vinya la nye use muri ma ko be na ro li aye tete ko ga ke le ma to fo use mo e di ga de pe ga ni ya fia.
Amen.
To jiwo.
Yes.
Eye ndanya baruma eto baba yire apo musa ya adumo agbobana Yehowa e we sia na mfafa. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Akere ku ka do to egbe a na mi la fu pe ka ha mara eye mi ba po amade bebe nya gbodila lo sofo alo na de ayo mi ba o eno we enough papa kata le Jehovah wo po matawe enough papa kata le Jehovah niva chinaji amaro ma ka tebe wa ya kokura amaro ma ka tebe wa tra yo ko to mu ala bana nya ko dira ma o brana ube mama de rugby Bai po pa nu vo yo wa ye tai o fu ya pamdo nu sala o bia Yesu be amayade nu vo ka wo e pa nu vo alo fa di jimenu apa di jimeto pa nu vo yo wo ya Yesu be a fia ni ata ba na ba dam ko problemi manya mo kata ajali manya Nusiamu si inkwale sina eli Kakene ele mawu subo eye mawu fo bobo le dzi wole. Na ga la dze foma e baba no. Amara ka subo na mawu ka vo ajo. Amara ka ba fa ni ba ya ni chigo. Mi la jojo be. Ka anu mawu subo ado jira mawu aka ba dze to vo. Eye ba bia na ne pro ebe. Bana ajebe ko usele jiwo ajare tebe ko usele jiwo o ala bana wala enye mawu to mawu tiawo yes ele mawu sima ajare tebe ta ho le mawu simo na jida ko ba na asio yes bana ele mawu bola ele fa fa amen mawu be problème ne le body ko pele ke ma vejiwo awo me do ba ma mi o e do ba mi ba ni ne mi le body na ne ka ba ta ho mi le yesio aka mi aka to no me fa ese ke ni nya me beto mi lo muti la sia bala mu sia no ata jure mi aji aka e mi ba poto le Yesu fa awara te e mi nya Kristo to fa vaora ma vi nya Kristo to di de fore ma sio amen. Bobareke mata ora ka o amen nenye ba akwaseko yes no to Kristo ebe mega se abanya si oko venami bana esi wono Yesu Kristo investigate wono nya dinto mure maba abami ni tai odo erare do mi ele ku baba to mari do bi o dara fa ba Yesu na ai jodo e na mawo fe ganyenye na dego eta be mawo fa do e na be ne ba wa ya wo mi ele no vinya Kristo to e do e o dura ne problemi awo le church ho me lo mi ba do o le me ba fo mi o meri mi ne mi awe ara ka ba ba mi o ni awe pledge jo awe pledge mo se na ba na do le mi asi mi do mu de ba wu be na le ke ma ta ba mi akwa ko so na nge ba mi o asia e mi do ji do ma wu e mi ho ma wu ji sera pa ma no ve a fa mi aji ma wu na no pleni mi na mi a do bera Yehowa musekata toto benyoto amanvala fufu ebe wasira na nyami me ba dro nyawo me kwala Yehowa me jesi bana ali plemi vafa ala bana wo to dre ani bana ya de be ga ni afia kaka la mo ji ade wo ga ni afia la me ala me nyewo nyara nye mbuba bato nyara nye mupala o bis woto ne nya e awona mira e etobi wona e ya de wo ga ni afia Yehowa bi la so rupo womi usalu sina jebe ya wo plemi na wo bubu be dasari ado ko na o mi lo wa bara late afeto wotan le mi amo e mi asumo pledge jo le kafu sia me bia to mi afeto Yesu Kristo pa ko amen.
Amen.